how do we help our buyers win their offer, being the one that's accepted, right?
Yeah.
So we just had 2 offers last night that we wrote. One was not accepted, lost out to a cash offer. That's a tough one. However, you do have a program that is a really solid commitment almost.
Yeah.
Talk to us about what that is.
Basically, we have a power bid approval program, which we would get the same general information, issue a pre-approval. We're always going to give that initial pre-approval. That way you're ready to put in an offer right away. So if you're putting in that offer tomorrow, you have your pre-approval. If you want to take that a step further and show an extra level of commitment to the seller that you're going to provide additional documents, right? So when we're doing a pre-approval, most of the time you might get a bank statement, the first page of the bank statement, pay stubs, W-2s, that might be all you get. And that's a pretty good pre-approval. Now, we have our power bid program, which the underwriter is going to request what they would request when you actually apply for the loan. So bank statements, driver's license, if you have any investment properties or you're self-employed, tax returns, K1s, W-2s, 1099s to go along with that. So it's a lot of documentation, but you're showing that extra commitment to the seller by saying, I've gone through underwriting and now I have an approval, a power bid approval from Guaranteed Rate that says it's subject to the appraisal and title. Which is as close to cash as you can get.
And in a case like that, what are we looking at for a closing date if they've gone through all those steps? It's just getting an appraisal back.
Appraisal. Yeah, I mean, right now with most buyers, I'd be comfortable doing like a 3-week closing.
Yeah.
You know?
So this is the thing that people sometimes don't realize. If they work with a lender that maybe doesn't offer this, or even worse, isn't going to communicate with that listing agent when they call to ask the questions, it could actually cost them the house when there was a solution that maybe would have gotten them the house.
Yeah, and I can tell you that right now in this market, it is so ultra competitive in New Jersey and New York. Now, if you read an article in the paper, things are different in other parts of the country. They have homes that are sitting on the market for 30 to 60 days. Their prices are coming down. It's not happening here. Not in most parts of New Jersey. That is not happening. We are still bidding, and your buyers are fighting to get their offers accepted. That's the toughest part of the offer. And the mortgage consultant is one of the most important parts of that process, because if you are in the running, if you put in a good offer, that mortgage consultant is going to get some type of feedback or questions from the seller or the listing agent if you're in the top 3 or 4 offers, by saying, like, what documentation did you get? Because a lot of mortgage companies during the pandemic were just throwing out pre-approvals. They weren't getting any pay stubs, any tax returns if they were self-employed. So a lot of listing agents got burned by that. And now they're saying, like, did you get tax returns? Did you get pay stubs? Did you get W-2s? And you're going with this program. Why are you going with that program? That could add time to our closing. So you've got to be able to communicate that. I know you said with one of your offers, you went through 3 or 4 conversations in text with the lender, and you didn't even understand what
the lender was actually
and why.
The lender really dismissed our question. The agents wanted to know, why were they using a non-conforming loan? I would have asked the same thing as a listing agent, so I understood that. He was dismissive. He was almost insulting. Gave us many different scenarios. It actually, in my personal opinion, cost that buyer probably this property, because that other realtor has been really communicating with us, almost trying to work with us, but needs to understand why isn't this type of loan. Yeah. So it does matter who you work with. We always talk about that, right? But it matters what type of loan you're using, and why are you using this loan versus this one? Why is this pre-approval stronger than the other one? Yeah. And I would say that our offers in both cases were very good buyers, very good down payments, over asking. But sometimes my buyers come with pre-approvals from another lender beyond my control, personal relationships and so forth. And in this case, the second one, I definitely feel that a different lender like you that we partner with, professional lenders, would have probably gotten a different end result.
And listen, the reputation that your lender has is big too, because if the listing agent doesn't trust that company,
or never heard of that company,
or never heard of them, they're not going to really respect that offer as much, and they're going to go with what they're comfortable with. They want to close, they don't want issues, and they want somebody that they know, okay, I've closed loans with this person before, and they've done a good job. I would be less worried about rate in this market than than any other market. Get the property and close, because listen, there's a really good chance that in the next 7 to 8 years we're going to see rates that are lower than this. Look at a chart over the last 20 years, right? So you need to go somewhere where you can get the property done, where they communicate with you and tell you as a buyer why they're going with that program, right? Your buyer, I don't even know if they knew why they were going with that mortgage program.
I don't think they do, because we've asked the question
Correct.
numerous times and no one can really give us an answer.
So
And
why
we've
am I
discovered
in that?
sometimes we've discovered that it really is just a lender that's trying to get a better commission, a deal with a certain bank, a certain type of thing. So I thank you for taking the time to just talk about this. I think that's a great program, being able to have that, presenting that. I know if I was a listing agent on the property and I saw your name and I saw that type of approval, I would definitely discuss that with my seller. That's just as good as a cash offer to me.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's our power bid approval process, and let me know if you have any questions about it.
Great, thank you.